Okay, here's where you belong. No holding back now. On the right track now. You got that Philadelphia pride. We're Philadelphia, a great place to be. Here's to the people, the magic and history. For all we've done here, we just begun here. You got that Philadelphia pride. You've got the spirit, it's Philadelphia pride. Come on, let's hear it, that Philadelphia pride. When we're together, we're better than ever. You're at the heart of it, free is a part of it. 3 cheers for Philadelphia pride.
Ma, if I could only send you up a jar of Francesca Rinaldi, you'd see how close it is to your homemade sauce. Ma, you're so emotional.
Ski, skate, bobsled. Enjoy all Lake Placid has to offer. It's 4 days and 3 nights free with a value pack purchase of $1,500 or more at Siemens.
On our next current affair, Leona.
A Current Affair, tomorrow at 5 on Channel 3.
The Women of Sports Illustrated, tonight on Evening Magazine.
It was a job that had to be done, and it wasn't that horrible.
What really goes on in those movie love scenes that seem to never stop sizzling? This is Entertainment Tonight for Tuesday, February 6th, 1990.
Hello, everyone. I'm John Tesh.
And I'm Mary Hart. For millions of women, it would have been a dream come true. For Patsy Kensit, just another day at work. Ho-hum, time to get in bed with Mel Gibson. It may look like a super sexy love scene with hunk Mel Gibson, but Patsy Kensit says it was really an uncomfortable working situation between 2 adults married to other people.
Being in bed with him, you know, I'm sure it was a weird experience for him as it was for me. And we talked about it a lot because we were able to laugh at the situation. And he said, look, you just got to treat it like walking the dog. You know, it's something you've got to do. You know, let's get on with it. It was a job that had to be done, and it wasn't that horrible.
While the scene was being shot, Kensit claims she kept whispering in Mel's ear how much she missed her husband.
I met my husband when I was 16, and he's the only man I've ever known, really. And so it was very weird for me to be in a situation with someone else other than my husband. People expect, you know, me to give an answer that I fell madly in love with Mel. And I fell madly in like with him. I thought he was a really, really wonderful guy.
Doing the nude love scene with Mel was no problem, but a later scene was.
They did want me to die in the nude at the end of it. And I didn't want to do that. I said to them in the meeting, why, what reasons? And there weren't any, and I said, well, I don't think I could do that. And it could have really lost me the part, I think, but I just didn't feel that was right. And they agreed, so I died with my clothes on.
Patsy Kensit has appeared in 21 movies, and she's only 21 years old. Nearly impossible? Well, she got an early start at the age of 4 playing Mia Farrow's daughter in The Great Gatsby.
From lethal love to legal love, actress Kelly LeBrock and actor Steven Seagal are husband and wife in real life, but that doesn't make it any easier when it comes time for a love scene in the movies, they say. Gene Wolfe has the story.
Hard to Kill is an action movie starring martial arts expert Steven Seagal and his real-life wife, Kelly LeBrock. Though the movie is full of shoot-'em-up scenes, there's also a love story, meaning some on-screen passion.
It was really hard kissing my husband on screen because when he's your husband, it's very private. You know, what you do in your bedroom, you don't really expect people to see on screen. So that was awkward, wasn't it?
I mean, I don't really like to get into physical things like that with anybody.
For me.
On the set, LeBrock was the cut-up, while Seagal was much more serious. He has black belts in several martial arts and admitted to being frustrated on the set because he wasn't in charge.
I say, and I think I know what I'm talking about, tip down with the hand after it's broken. On this movie, I wasn't really involved in very much of it at all, and that for me is very hard. You know, because, for example, when it comes to the combat and the action and all that, I mean, I know a lot more about that than, you know, most of the people that, you know, were working on the show. You want more? Yeah.
Well, let's do it quickly. Husband and wife certainly enjoyed working together, and when not working, they live on a ranch outside of L.A. with their daughter, Annalisa. You ready to add to your family?
Yes, I've got a bun in the oven right now, actually. Yes, I'm on my second child. I'm 5 months pregnant.
5 months pregnant.
Mm-hmm. How do you feel? I've been feeling terrible, but I'm not very good at being pregnant, I don't think.
But the two are very good at attracting moviegoers. Despite the huge following for action flicks like Hard to Kill, this pair would like to make completely different types of films.
I mean, I would rather make Terms of Endearment than Commando, you know.
I want to do comedies, and it's really hard trying to find a good comedy. I don't want to be a bimbo comedy. I want to be a person comedian.
Whatever the project, Steven Seagal and Kelly LeBrock would like to work together again. Gene Wolfe, Entertainment Tonight.
Hard to Kill opens on Friday. On our Inside Story tomorrow, Get Into Swim. We'll introduce you to Sports Illustrated's swimsuit cover girl, plus a preview of summer's hot new fashions.
If you don't show everything, it's more sensual, it's more sexy than if you show everything.
Is it swimwear or lingerie? The Inside Story tomorrow here on Entertainment Tonight.
Coming up next, find out why the infamous Mayflower Madam is now selling advice instead of sex. And later, you'll see and hear a young woman who may be the world's most talented new violinist.
It's Saturday morning, about 9 o'clock. Get out of bed and do the cinnamon roll rock. Let's go! Let's go! Mama, let's cinnamon roll rock. Rock, rock, cinnamon roll rock. Let your family know that you love them a lot. Drive real wild with a cinnamon roll rock. Lots of cinnamon and that icing on top. Get them out of bed with that cinnamon roll rock. Yeah, Mama. I mean, Mrs. Wilson. Nothing says loving like my cinnamon rolls. I love your look, I'm really hooked. The way you move can be improved, but I love your skin the best, 'cause it's
Caress the body bar with bath oil showers your skin with softness, leaves it softer than soap. Caressedly soft skin, don't you love it?
Yeah, I love your skin the best, 'cause it's caressed.
Skin feels best when it's caressed.
This is me, Sharon Potzik, before Nutrisystem. And this is me now. I've lost 100 pounds and I feel terrific. I recently attended my 35th class reunion. One person there that said, I think you're even slimmer than you were in high school. You look great. You really look terrific. I just feel like a giggly teenager all over again.
Don't wait. Call today. Nutrisystem. We succeed where diets fail you.
Take a new look. Take a new look. Take a new look. Take a new look. Oh, take a new look. It's a real surprise. Take a new look and blink your eyes. Take a new look at an old friend acne.
When Sydney Biddle Barrows was the Mayflower Madam, she sold sex to an elite clientele. Those days are behind her, but now she's trading in on her infamous reputation to sell a new book about sexual manners in the 1990s. Advice from the Mayflower Madam, our Inside Story today. When Sydney Biddle Barrows got arrested for running a call girl ring back in the year 1984, she became a headline writer's dream. A direct descendant of the Pilgrims and a member of a blue blood Philadelphia family, Sydney earned the name the Mayflower Madam for her exploits. Charged in New York for promoting prostitution, she got off the hook by pleading to a lesser charge. She detailed her experiences in a best-selling book, which was later turned into a TV movie starring Candice Bergen.
$125 an hour. They pay you for your time, not what you do.
Sydney even played a small part herself. Nowadays, she can be found a long way from the glamorous life, working at a New York exercise studio. But still able to cash in on her reputation, she's co-written a new, mostly tongue-in-cheek book called Mayflower Manners. A lot of it deals with the new sexual etiquette.
Things have changed so much today that there are a lot of things people just don't seem to know how to do, and it's important. And there was nobody writing about it, so I thought, why not me?
This book covers everything from when it's appropriate to give sexy lingerie as a gift to the perils and pleasures of gossiping about friends. On that subject, is it really good behavior to blab about others? Sydney says,
It all depends. It depends on if you're really trying to trash somebody. It depends on whether or not you're telling somebody something that they told you in confidence, whether or not you're spreading things that might not really be true, but it's so much fun to say it and get people's reactions because they think that you're someone in the know.
When it comes to personal hygiene in dating, when you sleep over, is it okay to use the toothbrush? Sydney says,
Considering what you were doing the night before, I don't think using his toothbrush is, the most unsanitary thing that you could possibly do, and you can always wash it with soap or water before or after if you really, go nuts about it.
But apart from some of the lighter suggestions she offers, Barrows also discusses some of the more serious rules of engagement as they apply to the practice of safe sex.
They don't know when to bring the subject up. It's a very touchy subject because whereas before it was just birth control that was involved, nowadays someone's saying, well, you might have a disease that you're going to give me, and that's just not very attractive. It's the sort of thing you don't want to think about when you're getting romantic with somebody.
She's received lots of attention for the book, her picture in Time magazine, but she is in hot water for a section that says guests should be told when someone with AIDS is invited to a dinner party.
What I really meant was that you would like for the person to have a really good time and for them to forget about their problems for a while. And wouldn't it just be awful if somebody inadvertently brought up a subject that reminded that person of their situation and felt badly about it?
That reference will be taken out of future printings of the book. As for life in the wake of her days as the Mayflower Madam, Sydney says apart from some lingering fallout from certain members of her more socially proper family, her biggest problem may be in finding men interested in her for her.
People look at me and think that I'm someone who's intriguing. They think that I'm someone that maybe they'd like to get to know just to see what someone like me is like. But when it really comes to actually maybe dating me, they might want to go out with me a couple of times just to see what I'm like. But what would their mother say? What would their roommates say? What would their friends say? Everyone's going to always be poking them in the room and saying, oh, what's she really like, And that's tough. That's tough.
Sydney tells us that she's received several offers to act in movies. She turned them down. She feels her real skill is running a successful business.
Kevin Costner's new movie Revenge offers that, plus action, sex, and betrayal. The story is set in Mexico, and as you'll see in our exclusive movie preview, the heat of the tropical paradise is no match for Costner's passion.
I'm trying to find the Mendez place.
Mr. Colson?
Yes. This is...
Mendez.
In Revenge, Kevin Costner plays a retired Navy pilot who travels to Mexico to visit an old friend. While prepared for the hospitality of the friend, a rich power broker played by Anthony Quinn, he wasn't quite ready for Quinn's young wife, played by Madeline Stowe.
She's a wonderful girl. Sometimes I think I should have married the mother. Much more sensible.
Sparks fly when Costner and Stowe fall in love, and their passion is discovered by an outraged Quinn. Costner is beaten and left for dead, but he survives and begins a frantic search for the now missing Stowe. Eventually, the time comes to settle the score with his old friend.
Where is she?
Perhaps we both deserve to die.
Maybe.
Revenge opens in theaters nationwide on February 16th.
In Stanley and Iris, Jane Fonda and Robert De Niro co-star as co-workers. She plays a grieving widow. He's a man unable to experience the world fully, and together they're a perfect match. Jane Fonda plays Iris, and Robert De Niro as Stanley wants to share his secret with her.
What is it?
I wanted to ask you if you could do something. You shouldn't have started this.
I'll be around.
Teach me to read.
De Niro can't read or write. For Fonda, the film Stanley and Iris is just one of many projects the actress-activist is involved in. At a recent environmental news conference, Jane described why she believes this movie sends the audience several messages.
One of the messages, it's okay to step forward and admit that you can't read. It's important to come out of the closet and seek help because you can be taught to read.
This is a snake? This is a woman.
For the characters Stanley and Iris, a romance blossoms. For Fonda, this marks the first time she's done a film with Robert De Niro.
A great actor to work with. I worked with Marlon Brando years ago, and it was another example working with De Niro of someone whose talent is so potent that, you know, it like washes over you and you learn a lot from it. It's wonderful.
What do you do with yourself after work?
I go to the movies.
I think people like the fact that it's a very contemporary adult romance. It's very romantic, although it's about a very important issue. It's also primarily a romance, and people find it very accessible, very touching, very human.
There are an estimated 27 million adults in this country who cannot read or write. And while Stanley and Iris is entertainment, Fonda says she hopes it will encourage some of those people to get some help.
Bruce Willis is signed on to star in Bonfire of the Vanities, the movie version of Tom Wolfe's best-selling novel. Willis will play a reporter who unravels the mystery of a hit-and-run killing. Tom Hanks had agreed earlier to play the Wall Street financier implicated in the accident. Working Girl star Melanie Griffith is reportedly negotiating to play Hank's love interest.
The women of Sports Illustrated.
I had a perverted photographer. He was horrible. I try not to think about what I'm doing to my husband. A lot of people just see the exterior of me, but that doesn't bother me at all.
Tonight.
On our next current affair, Leona. A Current Affair tomorrow at 5 on Channel 3.
It's not enough to know what you don't like. You've got to know what you do like. So for families that like a thicker, richer, chunkier spaghetti sauce, we've created new Aunt Millie's Family Style. There's a lot to like.
Everybody's got a soft spot.
Pineapple.
Got a very, very soft spot.
Strawberry.
Even spices so nice.
Chive and onion.
For soft, Philly flavors.
It's Macy's one-day sale Wednesday with 20 to 50% savings and special hours 9 to 11. Take 30% off already reduced prices on men's outerwear. 40 to 50% off cultured pearl strands and jewelry. Toshiba's midsize microwave, $149.99. 30% off already low prices on ladies' coats. Toshiba's 26-inch stereo TV monitor with remote, $499. It's Macy's one-day sale Wednesday.
There's an enemy in your car's engine. Friction. Without the right motor oil, friction can damage your engine and send it to an early grave. You need the special quality of Pennzoil motor oil. Pennzoil exceeds the API's highest standards for maximum protection against friction. Conquer the enemy friction with the world-class protection of Pennzoil.
The President and First Lady opened their home to a high-powered group of performers. The occasion was the latest taping of In Performance at the White House, and the show was a special Valentine's Day gift to the nation, hosted by opera star Marilyn Horne.
When you're here in the White House, you find yourself standing just a little taller and feeling a lot prouder.
And you feel a little more nervous. As the host of the musical evening, even veteran opera star Marilyn Horne felt some apprehension.
I'd have a great time if I didn't have to be so nervous. You know, these things also are nerve-wracking, especially when you're the mistress of ceremonies, because I don't want to make a complete fool out of myself in front of all these millions of people.
I've been a sinner. I've been a scamp. Actress and singer Patti LuPone took time off from her critically acclaimed series Life Goes On to boogie with the Marine Band. And country singer Gary Morris sang his hit song, Wind Beneath My Wings.
You always walk a step behind.
And although the show gives America just a glimpse inside the White House, singer Jeffrey Osborne says he was amazed just to be a part of it.
More than anything, I want to be able to pass down and tell my children that I finally performed at the White House.
In Performance at the White House will air February 14th on PBS stations.
The words child prodigy conjure up an image of a kid forced to give up the joys of youth for art. Violinist Leela Josefowicz is a child prodigy, but she manages to mix hours of practice into a life much like that of her 7th grade classmates. 12-year-old Leela Josefowicz was born in Toronto with the talents that make her a violin virtuoso. She polishes those skills with as much as 5 hours of practice each day.
I wake up at 6 in the morning and I practice, and then I go to school. And then I come back from school, and then I just practice until dinner, and then I practice after dinner.
Music has always been a part of Leela's family. Her father is a classically trained guitarist. Leela was even a musical baby. Her folks say she started singing before she started talking. When the family moved to Southern California from Canada, they enrolled 3-year-old Leela in violin lessons. Almost immediately, she displayed extraordinary talent.
But beyond that she could put something of herself into the music, beyond just learning the notes.
Leela's parents have committed themselves to developing her gifts while maintaining a normal home life with her brother Stephen.
We have to be very organized. We have to organize Stephen's schedule to fit with Leela's, and Leela's to fit with Stephen's, and there's a lot to do, to make that work, I think, and to keep everything calm and happy at the same time.
Wearing boxing gloves when she plays tetherball is a precaution Leela takes to protect her hands. Her parents take other precautions to protect her education. They limit her concerts to one every few months. And if she misses school for a performance, Leela takes schoolwork with her. She is an A student in the 7th grade, and she sounds like any 12-year-old when she tells why she is so dedicated to her art.
I guess the feel and just the way I feel when I play, I just feel really good. And it makes it, really fun.
Leela played her concert debut at age 8. She's made international appearances and garnered international press. Still, she offers a down-to-earth response to all this praise.
I always try to ignore it. I mean, not like that. Just I know that I have lots more stuff to do, a lot more work.
Although Leela rarely performs in concert, this year she'll appear at the Hollywood Bowl, in Canada with the Toronto Symphony, and she'll make her London debut.
And looks like a remarkable talent.
Great tetherball player, too.
It's a tale of psychics gone wrong. The Insider has the story when we come back.
I'll tell you, my mom and dad, gotta love them. They really work hard. Nice tie, Mom. So tonight I said, I'm in charge. I brought home the Kentucky Fried Chicken 5 or 10 deal. You get 5 pieces of original recipe chicken, perfect for 2, for just $3.99. They're worth it. Or for just $3 more, you get the 10-piece deal. Great for those, unexpected guests. The Kentucky Fried Chicken 5 or 10 deal. I do what I can.
Imagine a Disneyland as big as the city of San Francisco. A Disney World with a surprise around every corner. 43 square miles of tropical paradise. The spectacular Disney MGM Studios theme park. And the incredible Epcot Center. Imagine yourself here, Walt Disney World in Florida. As big as imagination gets.
Listen to the energy experts and things might look a little dim. Some say the whole northeastern United States could be in for power problems in just a couple of years. Well, some areas may be in for trouble, but right here, we have enough power for now. And there's a lot we can all do to make sure shortages don't hit us by starting to conserve. If we insulate better, use the off-peak hours. Just don't waste electricity. Things will look a lot brighter. The power's in your hands. Use it wisely.
Very beautiful, very romantic, very nice.
from a faraway country, yeah. It's just normal life. Up and downs and uphills, downhill, and it's just like a trip. The shampoo coming all over my face, that white soap. When the wind blows, you feel between your hair and it's beautiful. You can smell. It's even romantic sometimes.
Agree. When your hair's right, everything's right.
Now available from Paramount Home Video, Indiana Jones returns. And this time, he's bringing his dad.
Junior? Don't call me that, please.
They don't go looking for adventure.
Germany has declared war on the Jones boys.
It just runs in the family.
Dr. Jones. Yes?
Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade.
I like Indiana. We named the dog Indiana.
And look for the Indiana Jones Diet Coke $5 rebate offer. Details at participating stores.
Air transportation furnished and a promotional fee paid by Delta Airlines. Behind every successful trip, there's a travel agent. Join Delta to say thanks during Travel Agent Appreciation Week this week.
Celebrating birthdays today, actor Robert Townsend is 33. Singer Natalie Cole, 40. Fabian is 47. Newscaster Tom Brokaw turns 50. Actor Mike Farrell is 51. Actress Mamie Van Doren is 57. Actor Rip Torn, 59. Actor Patrick McNee turns 68. And former President Ronald Reagan is 79.
The ET Insider begins today with the news that did not happen, the predictions of those tabloid sages who can see the future. According to a San Francisco publication called the Bay Area Skeptics Information Sheet, psychics made the following predictions for 1989, which did not come to pass. Eddie Murphy did not get married. Prince Charles did not have a nervous breakdown. Ted Kennedy didn't marry Donna Rice. And a UFO did not crash in Kansas. Now, for the big news about what's big news in Colombia, Credencial magazine conducted a poll to determine 1989's top news story in that country. In third place, the war against drug cartels. In second place, the assassination of a presidential candidate. And the top story in Colombia, by a wide margin, the national soccer team qualifies for the World Cup. The Insider reminds you that all sports nuts are not in North America.
Teeny boppers were lined up 10 deep in New York to see their idols, New Kids on the Block. They're real dolls, you know. There was pandemonium outside the Hard Rock Cafe in New York as the super hot New Kids on the Block launched their own line of Hasbro toys. The kids say being immortalized in plastic is music to their ears.
The right.
At New York Schubert Theater, some of Broadway's brightest stars turned out for a luncheon to celebrate the upcoming Tony Awards and to speculate on who might win.
Dustin Hoffman in Merchant of Venice.
A few good men.
My old friend Bobby Morse.
I love all my fellow actors, and I wouldn't pick one out.
Later, another star-studded New York event honored Broadway composer Julie Stein. Carol Channing and Liza Minnelli sang some of the songs that made him famous.
There would be, for me, no musical theater on Broadway if there wasn't Julie Stein.
Joe Garza for Defender.
In Los Angeles, Steven Spielberg and James L. Brooks presented the Diane Thomas Screenwriting Awards to students in the UCLA Extension Writers Program.
This award keeps a lot of people working.
And that's it for us. The Super Bowl, the World Series, forget them all. Tomorrow is the big day in sports. It's Sports Illustrated's annual swimsuit issue. We'll have the cover girl for you and the latest in beach fashions around the world.
Got that one, sports fans? You're in for a real treat right now, too. To close our show, 12-year-old violin virtuoso Leela Josefowitz performing Bazzini's The Round of the Goblins.
Enjoy that, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Bye-bye.
Tomorrow's the day when the Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue is released. Who will be on the cover? We'll meet 3 of the top contenders in just a minute on tonight's Evening Magazine.
It's this simple. You see Siemens today. Get great furniture value and a free 4-day, 3-night vacation on Siemens with a $1,500 purchase. 6 exciting resorts to choose from.
The real easy listening stations are boring. They almost put you to sleep. Where WMGK gives you a variety. It's something different all the time.
On a given day, you're hearing some Grover Washington. You'll hear a little bit of Stevie Wonder. You'll hear some Carly Simon. I'm not hearing head-banging music that I can't work to, and I'm not listening to elevator music that's putting me to sleep.
It's Magic 103, WMGK.
They play the kind of songs that I like to hear.
Who's here? Okay, here we go. Oh, now, who ordered the heart attack on the bun?
Nadler.
Corned beef club?
Hey, I ordered extra mayo.
All 4 food groups on a hard roll.
Hey, where's Nadler? He's out getting his cholesterol checked.
Good, I'm taking his burger.
One thing we need less of is extra fat.
Okay, who's the health nut?
That's why there's new La Yogurt. It's thicker, creamier, and has a lot less fat.
Tomorrow we go to the health club.
Yeah, I hear they're serving a buffet.
La Yogurt, food for thought.
A new guy for the Eagles offense. I'll have the story at 11 on Nightcast.
It's like no other sporting event of the year. Tonight on Evening Magazine, the women of Sports Illustrated. The magazine has been keeping their plays secret, but this week it hits the stands. The big question, who will be on the cover? Plus, they may be the perfect target for cult membership. Elderly women are handing over their money and their minds to newfound religions.
Hi, everybody. I'm Ray Murray. It's tough to talk about the Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue without sounding a little, well, leering. But I like it for the photographs. They're nicely composed with a fine sense of color and detail and an obvious attention to things like lighting and f-stop. You're not buying this, are you? Well, what the heck. It only comes out once a year, and tomorrow's the day. But the biggest mystery every year is who will be on the cover. Last year, it was Kathy Ireland who appeared on the 25th anniversary edition. Can she make a repeat appearance? Tonight we meet Kathy and 2 of her main competitors.
Rachel, Elle, and Kathy. Believe it or not, on a runway, these models would look out of place. But on the beach, in a bathing suit, they're among the most sought-after models in the world. What more could a girl want?
People are very short-sighted about who you are. They see you in a bathing suit and they think that's all you do.
There are a lot of people just see the exterior of me, but that doesn't bother me at all. In a way, it's like I have a job to do. I'm a saleswoman. I have a product to sell.
Well, what they each want is to be on the cover of Sports Illustrated's annual swimsuit edition, the issue that sells 12 times more copies than normal. The swimsuit edition has made household names out of people like Cheryl Tiegs and Christy Brinkley. But this year's top choices are lucky that they made it this far.
I used to get teased a lot about my eyebrows. They used to call me Brezhnev.
Okay, let's see those big, beautiful eyes.
I was kind of a loser, but I don't know, I guess they saw something in me.
Wonderful.
I don't particularly have the high fashion look, cheekbones. I'm not real skinny and everything else. So I get more of the outdoor stuff.
This is a gorgeous shot.
I don't view myself as a sex symbol. I never had this in mind. I never had ambition in this industry. I've always taken every day as it comes and have tried to be as professional as I can, but on a day-to-day basis.
I came out of my mother and I looked like a bird just being born. I mean, it was ugly as hell. I was purple and I had all this weird, my mother was like, put her back inside.
In a business that is based on looks, models are as different as the pages they appear on. Kathy Ireland grew up in the beach community of Santa Barbara, California, and was a Sweet 16 success story before she graduated from high school. But before Sports Illustrated, she found that youth in the modeling world brings vulnerability.
My first job was a disaster. I had a perverted photographer. He was horrible. He was such a pig. I ended up having to slug him and take off, and I was just so disillusioned that I really didn't think that people like that existed.
That incident aside, Kathy went on to become the cover girl for countless magazines and has graced the pages of Sports Illustrated for the past 6 years, including last year's cover.
I'm surprised they've kept asking me back every year. I don't like to admit it, but I think no matter who is on the cover, it's going to sell.
Elle Macpherson started her modeling career in Australia and then came to New York, where all 5 feet 10 inches of her took the world by storm. She earns up to $50,000 a day for some beauty spreads and is sought after around the world for commercial and modeling assignments. She's a 3-time Sports Illustrated cover girl and was featured in last year's anniversary edition. But what about this year?
I hope I'm going to have a shot for them, whether they use my pictures or not. That we'll see, I guess, when it comes out. My 3 covers and my years with working with Sports Illustrated have definitely been the most influential and important things that have occurred in my career.
I'm the new kid on the block. Sports Illustrated issue, it's an incredible issue to be in for a model because your name gets out there and I feel like I'm a mess or ready to take off.
6-foot Rachel Hunter is a high school dropout from New Zealand, and thanks to her first appearance in last year's Sports Illustrated, she's now become one of the most desired models in the country, and also the object of countless men's obsessions.
You can't think about that. I try not to think about what I'm doing to the males out there. You know, I'm a hard-working person, and I work, 9 to 5 every single day. I'm traveling around the world all the time. And, it sounds glamorous and everything, but you never get, even though, like, I go to London next week, I don't even get to see London. I get to see the inside of my room, and then go straight to the studio, and that's it.
So, as Sports Illustrated is all set to unleash Swimsuit Edition 26, sports fans will be taken off the playing field and into the world of fashion for some of the skimpiest outfits you can imagine. But in this business, imagination is the key.
I think being in the bikini is a lot more sexier than being topless because it's more, they're like, well, what's under there, So, everyone knows what's under there, but what does it look like? So, I think it's a lot more sexier to be like that.
Yowza. Now, Kathy Ireland says it's time to take her career in other directions. For her, that means acting. She's appeared in a couple of small-budget films and recently had a role in the new TV show Grand. As for Elle Macpherson, she continues to make commercials, and we can expect to see her in future issues of Sports Illustrated. By the way, while arguments of sexism have always sprouted up around the swimsuit issue, statistics show that 20 to 25% of the readers are female. So there.
When we come back, how the elderly are perfect targets for cult membership. They're handing over their money and their minds.
This is Tropicana Pure Premium Orange Juice. No other major brand comes closer to this than this. Now this is Tropicana Pure Premium Home Style for those who like juicy bits of orange in their juice. So if you like the taste plus the feel of fresh squeezed, no one comes closer to this than this. Tropicana Pure Premium. Either way, you just can't pick a better juice.
There's an enemy in your car's engine. Friction. Without the right motor oil, friction can damage your engine and send it to an early grave. You need the special quality of Pennzoil motor oil. Pennzoil exceeds the API's highest standards for maximum protection against friction. Conquer the enemy friction with the world-class protection of Pennzoil.
The Furniture Unlimited Midwinter Sale, a great way to start the 90s with the guaranteed lowest prices of the year on the newest looks in quality leather furniture, solid wood bedrooms, cherry dining rooms, great new entertainment centers, wall units, and more. Prompt delivery on our entire selection, satisfaction guaranteed at the Midwinter Sale at Furniture Unlimited, Route 309, Quakertown. The real buys are in Quakertown.
The all-you-can-eat breakfast bar at Bob's. Go there on Monday, and it's just $3.99. Stop by on Tuesday, and it's $3.99. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, guess what? The incredible all-you-can-eat breakfast bar at Big Boy is just $3.99. All you can eat, all this to choose from, and it's just $3.99 Monday through Friday. So come to the all-you-can-eat breakfast bar at Bob's. $3.99's gonna make your day.
It used to be that when we thought of cults, we thought of young people who were attracted to that lifestyle because of a lack of purpose in their lives, something that was fulfilled by a charismatic leader who promised them physical and spiritual happiness. Well, most cults still promise those things to their members, but the difference seems to be in the people who are joining them. While there are no hard statistics, cult experts are reportedly seeing a movement towards elderly cult members, and they say that within the next few years, the numbers could be substantial. Most people call them cults, a gathering of true believers who band together in search of peace and harmony. But instead, many of them find pain. Listen to the refugees of mind control.
Took me away from my family and my friends. My mind stopped functioning. It was a closed system.
Physically, mentally, emotionally burned out.
Sometimes you can see it, but people don't see and understand the abuse of the mind when...
Describe me as an evil, unrepentant, unregenerate, and hopeless case.
The people in this room are former cult members. Some have been out less than 6 months, others for as long as 10 years. But memories of the cult will last a lifetime.
I mean, I worked all the time. I had no life. I had no leisure. I really wasn't very happy, but in the back of my mind was always, I'm doing this for God.
These former members joined in their late teens and early 20s, the prototype for cult recruiters. But lately, the prototype is changing.
I think the elderly are prey. They're lonely. They're looking for comfort, for companionship. I think they're very ripe for a cult.
Madeline Lawton belonged to the Church Universal Triumphant for 7 years. Married with grown children, she didn't fit the mold of the lonely widow. But loneliness isn't the only criteria.
The cults are actually selectively recruiting elderly people because they have money or because they want the prestige or the good PR that comes from recruiting elderly people. But I see it as a trend. It's definitely happening more and more.
Steve Hassan, a cult exit counselor and author of Combating Cult Mind Control, is an ex-member of Reverend Sun Young Moon's Unification Church. He says the move towards the elderly is a logical one.
I think because the country is graying, I think there are more older people than there have been previously. I think also older people are in many cases more vulnerable because they're lonely.
While most young people are attracted to cults because they question where their lives are going, older people are attracted because they question where their lives have been.
There was a period in my life when I realized that I was not, I was just a mortal being and that I wasn't going to be here forever. I felt that something more was required of me than what I had given. And so I was searching for answers.
But instead of answers, she found herself being mentally controlled and manipulated. It's called mind control, and if you doubt its power, you need only remember the horror of Jonestown. On November 18th, 1978, over 900 people committed mass suicide or were murdered in Jonestown, Guyana. The man who ordered the suicide murder pact was the cult's messianic leader, Reverend Jim Jones. While nothing so tragic has happened in any other cult, Hassan says the potential is always there.
I got to the point where I was so controlled that I believe I would have killed on command if I had been given a gun and given an order to do so.
It's a rape of the mind and the intellect, and it destroys the ego.
The Church Universal Triumphant is headed by its charismatic leader, Elizabeth Clare Prophet, whose followers, as a result of her prediction, prepared for nuclear war between Russia and the United States. It was scheduled for October 1989. When it didn't happen, her followers explained it away.
We believe that the nature of prophecy is that it can always be turned back. It can always be mitigated by prayers.
Of course, when you're in a cult and you're in that cult mindset, you can justify anything.
After 7 years of membership in the cult, Madeline's family secretly hired deprogrammers who were waiting for her when she came home one day. It took them 5 days to deprogram her.
I was very angry, and I felt that my family had no right to take that matter out of my hands, and but I think after about the third day, when I settled down and simmered down, I realized that they did what they had to do.
For years, the elderly have fallen prey to every kind of scheme imaginable, and now the cult awareness networks are warning them of yet another possible danger.
You know, the elderly have always been targets of con artists, and in my opinion, cults are just a variety of con artists.
Well, getting out of that con game, if that's what cults are, can be expensive. The cost for deprogramming can run anywhere from $2,000 to $10,000, and it doesn't always work. Some former cult members, by the way, report suffering from post-traumatic syndrome, much like Vietnam veterans.
Coming up next, Elvis is living on in a new television series premiering tonight.
Yes, he's still alive. He's alive in the hearts of his fans.
When you take a sinus medicine that can make you drowsy, it's like sleepwalking through your day. That's why there's Sudafed Sinus. It relieves sinus pain with a non-aspirin pain reliever and pressure with a decongestant that starts to work in as quick as 22 minutes without drowsiness. So if you don't want to sleepwalk through your day, get Sudafed Sinus. Fast sinus relief that won't put you fast asleep.
In Philadelphia, there's only one station that specializes in classic rock and roll. 94 WYSP.
Listen, I'm leaving you. You want to know why? Because for all your bubbly sweetness, honey, you're just not enough for a woman like me. And I say you're not the almighty big shot you think you are. America is making a new discovery, and so am I. And if that doesn't pop your top, baby, meet your replacement.
Discover the 1-calorie real cola taste worth leaving Pepsi for.
Just for the taste of it. Goodbye, Pepsi. Who'd you think I was talking to?
Diet Coke. Want to start a new relationship with your furniture? One that will last a lifetime? Then let Quality Furniture Galleries be your matchmaker. You'll fall in love with Quality Furniture Galleries' wide selection, from Pennsylvania House to exotic wicker and rattan. See for yourself over 100 completely decorated room settings, filled with distinctive looks at affordable prices. And during Quality Furniture Gallery's Thomasville Grand Opening Sale, you'll fall in love with their prices, too. Quality Furniture Galleries on the Black Horse Pike, just 30 minutes from the Walt Whitman Bridge, Egg Harbor Township.
Channel 3 says, let's look at what's right with where we live. Let's look at the people, places, and achievements that make us proud. Special reports from Eyewitness News and entertaining programs say, let's hear it for all the good things about our area that make us special and strong. That's the pride of Philadelphia.
Cheers for Philadelphia pride!
Several weeks ago, we devoted an entire half hour to Elvis Presley in honor of what would have been his 55th birthday. To no real surprise, what we discovered on that show is that there are tens of thousands of people around the world who will always consider Elvis the king of rock and roll. Well, those people are in for a treat starting tonight when ABC launches its new series called Elvis. But don't look for any scandals. This show promises to be almost reverential in its treatment of Elvis Presley.
You can knock me down, step in my face.
You Elvis Presley?
Yes, Elvis fans, the king is back.
Yes, he's still alive. He's alive in the hearts of his fans.
But are the fans' hearts big enough to accept the King reborn in the shape of 25-year-old Michael St. Gerard? ABC sure hopes so.
You look fine, son. Don't he, Bill?
Well, yeah, if you dig looking like a flamingo.
I'm not sure the legend of him should die. I think there's a lot of things that, a lot of wrongs that we're making right. A lot of misconceptions that people have about his childhood that our show will put in the right kind of light.
What makes this new half-hour weekly series different is that it concentrates on Elvis's childhood, a childhood spent in poverty.
You know, there's nothing hurts more than not being able to take care of your own family.
The series is shot on location in Memphis, Mississippi, and Arkansas.
From Memphis, Tennessee, Elvis Presley and the Blue Moon Boys.
It's based on true incidents and real people in Elvis's life. The goal here is accuracy, and ensuring that accuracy is executive producer Priscilla Presley, Elvis's former wife and mother of his daughter, Lisa Marie. Co-producer credit goes to longtime Elvis friend Jerry Schilling. Their main concern, finding the right actor to play the King.
I have one criteria in anything I do regarding Elvis, and that is, would I make the same decision if my friend was sitting here beside me?
That decision was a big break for little-known actor Michael St. Gerard. Until Elvis, he'd only acted in Hairspray and had a big part as Elvis in Great Balls of Fire.
I'm certainly a fan now. I owe him a lot. He's doing a great thing for my career.
I'd be traveling Monday, and I'd be running all the way.
He knows where to pull certain things, and he's studied it, and he's smart enough that he can pull qualities that Elvis had and make them his own.
Do you think you look like Elvis?
No. Do you?
A little bit, parts.
I don't. I think there's enough of a similarity that I can play the role. The question if I can sing or not is debatable. I think I can. I think I'm going to have a tough time convincing the producers.
Every day I reminisce.
Michael lip-syncs to a combination of Elvis and imitator recordings, but you will hear him talk.
And there's a certain way that you talk, and it all comes from the back of the throat. And it's a way that you move your mouth when you talk.
Michael spends hours watching tapes of Elvis to learn how to imitate his speech and movement.
He keeps the legs spread apart like that, and he stays on the heel of the right foot and the ball of the left foot. It goes sort of like that.
So can we see a little pelvic thrust here?
Pelvic thrust? No. If you want to see any more, you're going to have to watch the show. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Elvis had a short life, but he left a long line of fans. Schilling says he wants the world to know the real Elvis, a man who wasn't afraid to have a good time and didn't hide from his fans.
Elvis went to buy a new Cadillac, and there was a black family outside the window, and he went over to the lady and said something like, you know, what's your favorite color?
And Elvis bought that family a car.
And the guy was up on stage singing Hound Dog or Don't Be Cruel. And Elvis had this black suit on and this cane. And he walked up to him and he says, you're going to do it, you better do it right. And the guy just fell on the floor.
Evening
For a half hour every week, Jerry's and Priscilla's memories of Elvis will bring the King back to life again on TV screens across America. If the series is done right, its producers will get top dollars. But they continue to insist they're not trying to make money on his image. They just want to keep Elvis alive for the fans that love him.
To Priscilla and to Lisa and to myself and to some close friends and stuff, Elvis Presley is not an inanimate object. He was a human being that we knew very well, that we miss.
Always thinking how I miss my happiness.
Now, Elvis, the TV series, will debut tonight, but will be seen regularly on Sunday evenings. ABC has committed to the program for at least 8 shows and will certainly renew it if the ratings are good. In its review of the program, though, the Associated Press says that unless you want to see Elvis canonized, it would be wise to pass on the series and curl up with a good book.
Imagine if every ball game was a double header. If Christmas came 2 times a year, and every payday you were paid twice. Well, that's sort of the idea behind Pizza Hut Pairs.
And right now, when you come into Pizza Hut, you'll get 2 delicious medium one-topping Pizza Hut pizzas for just $10.99.
Pizza Hut Pairs, twice as much of a great thing. Wouldn't it be nice if all of life was like that?
Making it great.
We were the first hospital in the Delaware Valley to provide a transplant service. We were the first to provide laser capabilities in the catheterization suite. If you need an expert in virtually any area, the expert can be found here.
You want to go to a place that has a full team of experts that can handle any heart problem. We have that team, not only during your hospitalization, but well beyond.
A few more reasons why more and more patients are choosing Temple University Hospital.
It's hard to face the day, but he knows your favorite way. Folgers starting to brew, the aroma's calling you. The best part of waking up is Folgers in your cup.
Mornings are brighter with Mountain Grown Folgers decaffeinated. Mountain Grown beans have a more enticing aroma and richer flavor.
That rich aromatic brew that's decaffeinated too.
You're finally waking up.
And it's decaffeinated?
The best part of waking up, your wife, is Folgers in your cup.
Don't you hate it?
I can't remember the last time I saw my waist.
An hour a day and I'm still soft and thick around the middle.
In my business, I'm supposed to be that way.
What business is that?
I'm one of the Clouds Makes White Cloud, with softer, thicker bathroom tissue.
There's no difference in bathroom tissues. They're all the same.
Like me and Mr. Universe? Feel the difference Clouds make.
White Cloud is soft.
And look at the difference in thickness.
Thicker, too. Compared to White Cloud, the others seem lean and mean.
Some things are better, softer and thicker.
It's great for bathroom tissue, but not for me.
Oh, you look great. Where I come from, you'd be a real heartbreaker.
Where is that?
White Cloud, softer, thicker. Discover the difference clouds make.
It could be the cosmetic answer to the fountain of youth. Tomorrow on Evening Magazine, a new facial cream that's being called a miracle.
The more damaged your skin is, the better it's going to look after using the product.
Plus, the laughable, multi-talented Bette Midler. She's back on the screen as Stella. But can Bette hold her own with the big boys? Find out tomorrow on Evening Magazine.
Thanks for being here, everybody. Have a great evening, and we'll look forward to seeing you tomorrow.
Hotel accommodations provided by the Sheraton Commander Hotel in Cambridge, Massachusetts. Travel arranged through U.S. Air, offering the most daily non-stops between Philadelphia and Boston. U.S. Air, Philadelphia's #1 airline.
One of Philadelphia's most colorful characters is again the talk of the town. Will Frank Rizzo turn in his radio microphone for another run at the mayor's office? Hear his response. And a former Eagle could make a play for political office too. Details on Nightcast.
His memory has disappeared.
I can't remember any of this.
His past is gone.
I feel I've been robbed of my youth.
The terror of amnesia, when your own life is a mystery next to others.
Tomorrow at 4.
When he heard the news, he left in haste. Didn't want to miss that big, bold taste. A quarter pound of beef on a toasted rye bun, cheddar cheese sauce, and grilled onion.
McDonald's Cheddar Melt.
Cheddar Melt. For a limited time to go at McDonald's.
Catch the 1990 McDonald's International Mixed Pairs Gymnastics Competition Wednesday, March 7th, DuPont Pavilion, Villanova University. Presented by McDonald's and the Philadelphia Inquirer.
What are you doing, Stan?
I'm giving the dog bones.
No. Give him snacks that taste like real food. Like ribs, basted with real meat juices.
Yeah, but bones crunch like real steak bones.
Yeah, but ribs even looks like real food.
So does bones.
Let the dog decide.
Right.
Oh, what did I tell you? Ribs.
Bones.
Ribs and Bones brand dog snacks from Purina. Let your dog decide.
Imagine a Disneyland as big as the city of San Francisco.